is asks questions as test your principle. All these requirements fulfill this exam. Online practice tests. Start. Let's start practice field. The course includes an extensive unit on climate change and requires all students to read the STEAM review on the economics of climate change, which was published last year. The course delves into the science behind the issue, the challenges it poses to business and government, as well as a discussion on possible solutions. Economics challenges poses include. The course includes an extensive unit on climate change and requires all students to read the STEAM review on the economic of climate change, which was published last year. The course delves into the science behind the issue, the challenges it poses to business and government, as well as a discussion on possible solutions. In the fast changing world of modern healthcare, the job of a doctor is more and more like to the job of a chief executive. Physics practices don't just need to know medicine. They must also be able to balance budgets, motivate a large and diverse staff. In the fast changing world of modern healthcare, the job of a doctor is more and more like the job of a chief executive. The people who run hospitals and physics practices don't just need to know medicine, they must also be able to balance budgets, motivate a large and diverse staff, and make difficult marketing and legal decisions. Environmental problems caused by hard rock mining involves water pollution by metals themselves, chemicals used in process, acid training and sediment. Metals and metal-like elements in the ore are toxic and prone to cause trouble by ending up in as a result of mining operations. Environmental problems caused by hard rock mining involve water pollution by metal themselves, chemical used in processing, acid drainage and sediment. Metals and metal-like elements in the ore are toxic and prone to cause trouble by ending up in nearby streams and water tables as a result of mining operations. There have significant happenings that have kept alive the hope and the deep sea may conceal strange Africa, an amazing fish was. In recent years, there have been one or two significant happenings that have kept alive the hope that the deep sea may concern strange links with the past. In December 1938, off the southeast tip of Africa, an amazing fish was caught alive, a fish that was supposed to have been dead at least 60 million years. Mixing the use of more than one varieties in the same transfer chain. use of different languages of varieties between sentences is common and natural despite its frequency. Despite its frequency, perhaps because of it, some scholars and self-appointed guardians of linguistic. In multilingual countries, code mixing, the use of more than one variety in the same utterance of sentence, and code switching, the use of different languages of variety between sentences, is common and natural despite its frequency, or perhaps because of it, some scholars and self-appointed guardians of linguistic morality view both code mixing and code switching as a sign of linguistic deficiency. In this landmark account, first published over 20 years ago, the author argues that the ignorance and lethargy of the poor are the direct result of the whole situation of economic, social, and political domination. By being kept in a situation in which critical awareness and response are particularly impossible, thus disadvantages are kept submerged. Lethargy. In this landmark account, first published over 20 years ago, an author argues that the ignorance and lethargy of the poor are the direct result of the whole situation of economic, social, and political domination. By being kept in a situation in which critical awareness and response are particularly impossible, the disadvantages are kept submerged.
Students must observe lab safety regulations at all times.
Students must observe lab safety instruments all time.
It's the words of common occurrence that have different referential value.
It's word current reference that have different values.
The office said Dr. Smith will arrive later today.
The office said Dr. Smith will arrive late today.
Student Services provides help with housing and transport.
Student Services will provide services, health and transport.
A study skills seminar is on for students who require assistance.
The study skills seminar is required for students who require it.
Any textual references you make should be cited appropriately in the footnotes.
Any texts and results should be prepared participately tonight.
The research paper should begin with a thorough review of the literature.
The research paper gives the thorough review of research paper.
The aesthetic implications of this study have not yet been fully explored.
The experimental study has not fully explored.
The inherent tension between these two features remains to be addressed.
The inherent tension between these two features remain enhanced.
Journalism is the collection and publication or transmission of news.
Journalism is the collection and transportation of this news. The bar graph shows the information about largest cities worldwide in millions: London, Tokyo, New York, Delhi, Bombay, Tokyo. The bar graph shows the information about largest cities worldwide in millions in the London, Tokyo, New York, Sao Paulo, Mexico, Toxico, Delhi and Tokyo. To the beginning with in 1950, London population was near about 8 million, while it increased significantly in New York near about 21 million, while in the year of 2000 the higher percentage goes to Tokyo near about 23 millions, while Tokyo increased significantly in year of 2015 it was 36 millions, but which followed by Mumbai is only 34 millions. Overall we can see that the worldwide population increased significantly. The line graph shows information about kilocalories per day, consumption of calories per day by North America, Europe and Central Asia, World and Africa. The line graph shows information about calorie consumptions per day by North America, Europe and Central Asia, World and Africa in the year of 1975 to 1995. To the beginning with Africa, calorie consumption was in 1975 near about 2200, while it stays steadily. In the year of 1995 it's near about 2400, while Europe and Central Asia's consumption in 1970 was 3300, while it remains steadily in the year of 1995 near about 31 kilocalories. Overall, the kilocalorie consumption in these countries are same in whole round the periods. The pie chart shows information of injury locations by leisure sport, school children, roads and home. The pie chart shows the information about injury locations in different manners like home, work, roads, other, leisure sport, school and children. To the beginning with higher percentage goes to the injury location is home near about 41%, which is followed by road accidents like near about 19.5%. Leisure sports and work are currently followed by 17.1% and 15.2%, and lower percentage goes to school and childcare only 4.8% and others 2%. Overall we can see that injury location higher in the home, leisure activity and roads. The line graph shows information the year of 1976. The line graph shows information about population growth and projected population of Sydney in the year of 1976 to the 230 projected. To the beginning with, the Sydney population was in 1996 near about 3 millions, while it increased in the year of 2001 census near about 4 millions, while it will be increased significantly in the year of 2031. In Sydney population will be 5 millions people. Overall we can conclude that the Sydney population will be increased throughout this period. This picture shows the difference between three buildings where are presented in the front of this picture. The first building is Talipan, which is near about 101 Tripoli. Second is Petron's Tower, which 1 and 2 are jointed, and its height is 1,483 feet. While third is Sirius Tower, located in Chicago. Its height is near about 1,450 feet. To the conclusion, we can see that the higher length goes to Tripoli, near about 1,670 feet, while lower go to Chicago Tower, near about 1,450 feet. The picture shows the information about manufacturing output in the United States. The year of 1919, about 100%. The graph shows information about manufacturing output in the UK manufacturing companies in the year of 1990 and 2008. To the beginning with in 1990, the manufacturing output in the UK was near about 100%, while it increased significantly in the year of 2001. It was near about 104%, while it declined in the year of 2003 near about 99%, while it then increase in the year of 2005. It was near about 102, while in the year of 2007 it was near about 103%. Overall, the manufacturing output in the UK remained steadily all around the period.
Milk is not typical of all monasteries for many reasons. First, it is very grand, which most, especially later foundations, aren't. Secondly, it was founded in the countryside, whereas in the 17th and 18th centuries, a good proportion of foundations were made in towns. Thirdly, it still owns a substantial amount of land, because fourthly, it lies in the Austrian Republic, the only European country where grand old monasteries have been in continuous existence since they were founded, 900, 1,000, even in one case 1,200 years ago.
Thus, speaker was discussing about Melk Monastery Street in Australia, which is mainly popular in the 4 and 5 various reasons. Moreover, she mentioned this reason. First reason was it has a playgrounds and latest guidelines. Second, it was located in the countryside and 17th and 18th centuries are most popular. Third, it is also a beautiful place. Fourth, it's a Australian continental and different from Europe. Finally, he mentioned it was also shown in the 9,000 and 12,000 period throughout the world. Overall, it was a really beautiful summary of the Melk Street.
Corruption comes at a huge economic and social cost, and that cost is felt most acutely by the world's poor. Dr. Arnold has already given the staggering figure of $1 trillion US that's paid in bribes worldwide. It is an extraordinary figure. It's a figure that equals 10 times what is paid each year by donors in international development assistance. 10 times development assistance. And even this huge amount, $1 trillion, could be an underestimate, because it's very difficult to capture a number of the more elusive transactions within the public sector that involve corrupt dealings, such as budget leakages and asset theft. Corruption sharpens income inequality, and it impacts disproportionately on the poor. In many countries, corruption works as a regressive tax on household incomes. Regressive because it impacts much more on the poor than the more wealthy. Compared with higher income groups, lower income families pay a much larger share of their incomes in bribes to access basic public services, and their overall access to those services is reduced.
The speaker was discussing about corruption concerns as compared to development assistance with different manners. Moreover, she gave an example of Dr. Aliens, who also shows the biggest data near about $1 trillion is invested in this corruption fields, and extraordinary payments like 10 times development in this system. In addition, he mentioned about $1 trillion is not a concern or not a short issues. Finally, she mentioned about public sector involved in corruption impact in many bad manners and important much more, like large family oval are established which merely worked or follow this financial flow, which is corruption is main concern in all around the world.
This is Hans Krebs, who in 1937 published a paper showing the sequence of chemical reactions by which energy is released in individual cells. It's called the Krebs cycle, which some of you may remember from your chemistry course in high school. Krebs is a wonderful example to me of how a scientist who is determined can overcome all kinds of human obstacles. Krebs' father constantly discouraged him and told him that he had just mediocre intelligence and would never do anything important in his life as a teenager. What Krebs remembers in his memoir, his father said to him, "You can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear." And later on, when Krebs studied with the great biochemist Otto Warburg, Warburg also told him the same thing, not the same quote, but that he had only mediocre ability and would never be a great scientist. And we all hear about how important it is for parents to encourage their children, but sometimes the children will go on to do great things no matter what we say to them.
Oh shit.
To which of our senses do all of the following words relate? Opaque, vivid, brilliant, shiny.
Brilliant and shiny.
In a recession, does economic activity increase, slow down, or stay the same?
Slow down.